y'all. Welcome. Looks like it's going to be a small but mighty show today. How's it going, Tyler?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man? You're still in LA?
Yeah. I'm still chilling out here. Missed a couple of the last open mics, but glad to be back.
No worries. We've been here. This has actually been the one that's been the busiest time for the last 3 weeks. We've had like 15 people every time, but this week's looking a little bit lean. So we'll see. Annabelle, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. It's B.
How's Germany doing today?
Yeah, we're still hanging out here, chilling in our homes.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing here.
You're out in Germany?
Yeah, I'm outside of Heidelberg. Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm German descent, but not exactly the favorite people of the previous German hierarchies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's we all have our story. Man, I can't change my name. Okay.
No worries.
Okay, so you have to remember it's B.
B. Yeah, you like B, huh? Why does it say Annabelle? Who's that?
I can't change that. I don't know who that bitch is. I don't know why she keeps showing up.
It's your alias.
If you go to your, like, on the little people at the top, you can press the little 3 dots.
Little people. It's mute and unmute at the top. Reactions, chat.
If you press like the little 3 dots, you should be able to press rename.
In your picture.
On my picture. No, I don't have the little 3 dots. Usually I know I have it and I can change my name. But in this one, all I have is the blue button in the corner that says mute. And I have my name. I don't have any 3 dots anywhere.
Huh.
Yeah. It wants for me somehow to own this identity. I don't want to.
We're going to stall for another 3 minutes or so, see if anybody else comes in. Otherwise, we're going to have a small but mighty show. You guys get 30 minutes each. No.
Oh, wow. Just keep talking.
Just kidding. At that point, it becomes a TED Talk.
Yeah, good now. Where are you, Tyler?
I'm LA. I'm from Jersey, New York area, but I'm out here trying to
make
live
something
the dream.
happen. Yeah, live the dream. Are you living the dream or are you?
No, right now I've just been kind of sitting in this room for about a year.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Germany, actually. I was supposed to be there last year. My dad's family is from Frankfurt, so I was supposed to go and like check it out. But then, things happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. So it's opening up slowly but surely. It's opening up.
Yeah, the numbers are really dropping right now. So I think that's we got something to be thankful about, and I think we can finally see a little bit of normalcy coming. I mean, the CDC in America officially said that if you've had both doses of your vaccine and you're an old person, you can go visit your grandkids.
Yeah, that was nice. They did some heartwarming shots of grandparents with the kids crying with joy. Yeah.
God damn! Now I have to see my in-laws.
I know, really. Yeah. Kevin, do you work with Greg Dean or?
I'm one of the instructors for Greg Dean. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I'm the open mic guinea pig as well. I actually have fun, so I volunteer for this.
Oh, okay.
But I teach a couple of the classes. I teach mostly the advanced classes, although I'm working right now in Greg's beginning class, just because trying to tighten up my stuff in that. If you haven't checked it out, we do have some free intros coming up where you can see a free seminar about what we do in our classes. And this weekend coming up and next weekend coming up, we have weekend seminars. They're just Saturday for 3 hours the first weekend, and then Saturday for 3 hours the next weekend. One is joke writing tips and tricks, and one is making your stories funny, telling funny stories, I believe.
Oh, and it's happening on the weekends? I'll have to look.
Saturday. Yeah, please. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll even post you, since we have such a small group, I'll post you a link.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
we'll
I
get
took your guys' intros. Tons of fun. The basic.
Yeah, and it has a lot, man. It has a lot. I think we're overloading people in the intro, but I don't know. You can tell me that
I
probably.
mean, it was great because, like, he shows you. I think it was really good because, like, he shows you how you need to be able to write a joke. You can't just go up and just speak.
Yeah.
And after you see that, like, I was going to a bunch of open mics and everything. You see people who are kind of going up and just saying stories that really didn't have jokes in them. They were just kind of stories as opposed to just straight up jokes. And Greg shows you how to, like, okay, well, if you don't have a joke, it can't be funny.
Thanks.
So it doesn't matter if it's a great story. But
yeah, a lot of times we will be working with people and their script won't have jokes. It'll have like colorful, detailed wording that's clever. And, it's clever enough that it might get a little chuckle like, oh, so he said crotch rockets. But it's not funny. It doesn't have a misdirection. There's not a misdirection. And without the misdirection, it's not really a joke. So, and yeah, like I do a lot of private sessions when I'm working with people. I'm going through their script. I'm like, if it's not a joke, it needs to be a joke. Okay, that's not a joke. That's just a nice way of saying something. That's not a joke. We need a joke. Birkin, yeah. You're breaking up in time.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it long. Well, now I've been doing it 2 years. Plus, we have this COVID-19 thing hit, so I've been basically in the house. But I had that too, where people were like, just be yourself, just talk. And it's like, no, it's not just talking. But then if you, on the other extreme, you're like doing something that's like, I'm a comedian.
You can't be a performance representative of stand-up comedy. You actually have to have a relationship with the audience, and that's the key to the whole thing. And the audience deserves more than rambling.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a club where they paid to come and they paid for parking and they paid for 2 drinks, you got to give them a show. You can't, and we actually believe in never blaming the audience. We never say, oh, it was a bad audience. It was a bad audience. Now, bad audiences sometimes happen, but if you blame it on the audience, there's nothing you can do to improve yourself. There's nothing you can do to be proactive. So we don't blame the audience. We say we didn't make the right decisions in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Birkin, what's happening? I'm going to mute you if you cut in and out. You were cutting in and out a minute ago, but it seems to be a little bit more stable. All right, guys, let's get the show order. We got a whopping 3-person show today. So we're going to have an opener, a feature, and a headline. Our opener is going to be B. Our feature is going to be Tyler, and our headliner is going to be Birkin. All right, we'll go 5 minutes. You don't have to use the whole 5 minutes, but hey, you can if you want.
Can we get some feedback too? Do we have time?
I might be able to give you a little bit of feedback. Usually I'm not supposed to give too much feedback because we're really not supposed to do a class in here. Okay. But we have a small enough group that I can give you a little bit of feedback. So let's go ahead and get this started. You guys know how it works. Everybody here has been here before. So I'll hold up the 1 minute sign after 4 minutes, and then I'll hold the that's your time after the final minute. All right, here we go. Gentlemen, boys and girls, captains and dinghies, I don't care who you are or where you're from. I'm just glad you're here to share this moment of human contact over today's technology. I'm Kevin Comstock. I'm your host. It's the Greg Dean Open Mic Tuesday. Make some noise. Wait. Okay, that was kind of a silent noise, but I did pull the music down because I wanted to check. I wanted to be sure. Please remember, this is not a presentation. This is a dialogue. So feel free to laugh if something's funny. If something resembles a joke, let a little bit of air out. I'm your host, Kevin Comstock. I am also the instructor, and if you would like, I will stay for a minute or two after and give a little bit of feedback. We're going to bring our first performer to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this first performer builds home from recycled plastic bottles, trains dolphins, and is a Rhodes Scholar. Put your hands together from B from Germany.
Okay, yes, I'm calling in from Germany. And there is such a thing as driving while Black. in Germany. Um, they pull you over for an alcohol test, and I try to act like it's a math test, because Germans are very impressed with intelligence. But if you're black, you should keep your mouth shut and just try to pass the test. For women, it's like voicemail, and for men, it's a, closer to a test call, but that's just a tip. What's weird about living in Germany is that they will not drink the water. They can, but they prefer to buy it. H2O, the whole of the chemistry table. But the hoe is God's tool. So I won't say anything negative about hoes. Bathroom water is taboo. I was filling up my water bottle in the bathroom, and the German women were like, "What will she do next? What is she doing? Drinking from the toilet? What will she do next? Brush her hair with a toilet brush?" You know, I mean, yes, I have a couple of bad hair days. Maybe it would help. I'm willing to try it. The toilet brush might be a lifesaver. There are cultural misunderstandings. Yeah. One hairdresser, after agreeing with me that my hair is bushy, thought she could cut it with landscaping tools. So definitely a misunderstanding. When I moved to this teeny village out here, um, I was labeled as having bad mannered hair. This hairstyle is called the timeout. Yeah. Uh, I consider myself strange. I'm strange here because I identify as trans aged. I dyed my hair white because I was not growing old fast enough. And now men catcall me. They're like, "Hey, mama, you look great for an 80-year-old." And then I pounce. "Come here, sweetie. Give me some of that creamy filling, you Twinkie. You run fast for an 80-year-old. Hey." I start pulling off my top. "Keep on." And I say, "Going? No, your clothes." Okay. So the best thing about being old, though, is I'm in line for the vaccine. That amount of things I'll be able to do is staggering. My face will be light up with joy, which means I'm still drinking and chain smoking. I'm B. Ballman. That's my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, B. Bowman. That was fun. Thank you for sharing that with us. I actually dye my beard, but I dye the brown part because mine actually would be like Santa's beard. I'm not kidding. I really, and I'm in total denial. I realized I don't like old people. I just don't like old people, but I'm becoming one. So it's a really awkward thing to slowly become someone you hate.
That's funny.
Especially after all the years of learning to like myself. Now I'm going to hate myself because I hate old people. That's great. That's great. All right. It's time to bring up our next performer. Our next performer is a stunt car driver, a puppeteer, and an entomologist. Please put your hand together. Hylas Strauss.
B, I'm a big fan of older people myself too. I always go down on older women. I get to maintain my silver tongue. Yeah, no. I'm Tyler Strauss. People actually often ask if I'm related to Levi Strauss, but unfortunately, I don't have his genes.
Ooh.
as some of you may have guessed, I'm a white male, which is kind of out of style, but I am a white male, which fortunately for me, 2 negatives make a positive. Unfortunately, I'm also Jewish, and 3 negatives just make you depressed. But I was one of the only Jews in my hometown. Actually, when I first told my friend that I was Jewish, I said I was a Jew, and he said, "Bless you." It's kind of nice in a sad way, but my school actually renamed European History Tyler's Heritage Unit. And they used to block off a little bit of time on our field trips so I could use like the souvenir penny maker. You know, you go over and stick some pennies in and it would print you a little. Anyway, I actually heard about a new show. B, I don't know if you get this in Germany, but there's a show called Man in the High Castle. And it's a show where they're trying to imagine the world that the Nazis won the war, which, by the way, is a terrifying premise. But I thought, all right, let's imagine it, right? What would actually come out of that world if the Nazis won the war? Some good sitcoms would be Third Reich from the Sun. Maybe we could have Blondish. The ladies could get together and they could watch the Frauleinet, or if it's a man, the Fuhrer. And I imagine that if there was Scooby-Doo, they would just have like 4 Freds and a golden retriever catching like tax evaders in New York. I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling Hitler Youth. Last year, actually, Anne Frank Day, which is always a fun topic to bring up. Anne Frank Day fell during Gay Pride Week. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, one promotes coming out of the closet. My favorite stereotype is Sony. I actually got 20% off at the hospital. Apparently the medical term is circumcision. But, you know, the hospital actually fired its morgue workers. They're always cutting coroners. It's really frustrating to me. On the way there, I was driving and a little light came on my dashboard. And I thought to myself, I wonder how they got that check engine to my German car. Yeah, you know, I got hurt looking for love, but I should have been looking at the road. So that's on me. I actually saw a homeless guy. He had a sign that said, "Need money to eat." And I thought, that's stupid. He should use it to buy food. And that's the exact reaction I'm going for, is a bit of a sigh and a bit of a depression on yourself and laughing. In 9th grade, I had sex with my teacher. It was a talk of the homeschool. But it was, you know, actually, I went to public school, and my school once hired a domstitute. They had a domstitute because the substitute didn't have any control. You know, when I used to work at the school, I worked for the School for the Blind. I used to ask students, where do you see yourself going to college? And they always said, I can't. Looking back is also something they can't do. The School for the Blind's football team was super unselfish, very unselfish. And I think it's because there's no eye on that team. I took a blind date on a girl and she said she wasn't looking for anything serious. I was not shocked. I get that, you know, you shouldn't say blind jokes. You can't see it from their perspective. Well, in my defense, neither can they. You know, I actually wonder myself, is a blind orgasm spelled because they can't see? Food for thought. Now, midgets. I get that midgets are the lowest form of comedy, so I'll keep this short. I have a great new business idea for Shark Tank. It's called Midget Digits. What we do is we hire midgets, and they hold your dick while you take a dick pic. So the recipient thinks that's your hand. You just have a giant 18-inch cock. It's a small workforce, but it's very supportive. If someone can't make it, almost everyone else is willing to lend a hand. Hey, you know what? I may be schizophrenic, but at least I've got each other. And I will leave you with, I hate doing porn. They always critique the little thing. Thank you. I'm Tyler Strauss.
Where's my music? He does that.
Thanks a lot, Kev.
Hey, thank you, Tyler. Give Tyler a round of applause. Usually there is an incredible soundtrack that comes up and cuts in and out because we're on Zoom, but it still makes it seem exciting. But you could hear there's something weird going on with So I have no sound, no sound effects or music at the moment, but that's okay. We can actually all pretend. We can make our own sound effects. So let's bring up our last performer, ladies and gentlemen. This guy, he has to be careful what he says because he doesn't have free speech in Turkey where he lives. So please, Birkin, don't get yourself in trouble. Just tell us what's wrong, but don't end up doing something wrong. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Birkin!
Yeah, Birkin!
Thank you. So, do you know that burning feeling when you walk run too fast, too much? I get that when I'm walking. If I when I'm walking, if I increase my pace just a little bit, my legs are just getting crushed. This is how out of condition I am. And the weird thing is, I like walking fast. When I'm walking, I don't know if it's the sun or the fresh air. I become another person. I become someone much more aggressive. I just walk like aggressively, just fast, and I have that look in my eyes, like I'm better than you. Fuck you, get out of my way. I'm just like that, and I don't know what that is. I know what I am. I know who I am, and there's these little things in life that makes me that's something different than me. Like, for example, I can't sing. I can't ever sing. I know I can't sing. Everybody knows I can't sing, but I think I can sing. I just think that. I don't know why. I think my voice is good. I like sometimes I send voice message on WhatsApp, and I just listen to it over and over again, just for like 20 minutes. I just like it. Oh, I'm really good. Even if it's not a song, if I'm like talking casually, I'm just like, yeah, that's the sound. Yeah. And I don't know what that is. I just like, for example, another thing is when I, see someone really, really good looking, a guy, a male guy, and I am straight, but when I see them, I'm like, maybe like I know my sexuality, but I don't know if it's the right one. I just don't know that. I'm not sure about that. And yeah, like, I'm an aspiring aspirer. I just don't know what to become at the moment. Like, I sometimes just get really eager, and I want to become a musician, or I want to become an artist. I want to become a scientist, and it just always changes. And I actually have a plan, but I kind of don't. So I am also undecisive about being undecisive. It's so weird, and I think it's because I was born in 29th of the September, approximately 2 weeks later than 9/11, and I can't help but think that I am an unavoidable direct consequences of 9/11. There's just no other explanation.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. That's my time.
Birkin, wrestling with a few things in Turkey. I get it, man. I get it. Thanks for sharing that with us. It's always, we got to always have our Tuesday little Birkin. All right, we have a last minute addition to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring up the next guy. Strap up. You want to do some time?
Yes, sir.
All right, here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is only lazy when someone steals his motivation. Put your hands together for Strap Up.
Yay. All right. Sorry for my tardiness. So I've been rather concerned in today's climate with a lot of things that's going on. Most importantly is it's the racism. It's just everywhere you look. It's in our politics. It's in our movies. It's in the music. It's in it. You can't in the news. It's every possible where. And to be perfectly honest, I'm quite sick of it. Right. The some places that you would think that are hallowed are no longer whether it be Congress, it could be the presidency, whatever it is. It's just all manner of fucked up. And to be perfectly honest, the last bastion, the sanctuary that I thought that really needs to be cleaned up, honestly, it's in porn. We really need to get racism out of porn, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sick of it. I cannot go on Pornhub and see every time, BBC and this like the big black mandingo guy and he dicks down the white girl, or it's just big black brute. And come on, can I just watch a good old fashioned American dicking of a young lady without the racial component? Can we just take out the racial part? It's just a guy with a big dick. That's just it. That's just it. We don't need to add in all the colorful detail of all this ghetto buck fucks the shit out of this whatever. We don't need to see it. I mean, we need to see it clearly. I mean, I pay my subscription like everybody else. What I'm saying is that we just let's just take out the descriptors, and then that'll make us all just a happier people. Now, I don't know what type of porn you're into, Tyler. I'm just going to assume that it's a little transgendered S&M. I don't know. I just judged that by your haircut and your hat. But I'm assuming that if you take out the racial component, then you'd be just as happy if you saw like Asian midget fisting. And that's it. There's no need to say, hey, this is the big black fist. You know what I'm saying? As we're all one America. And what I'm saying is that all fists matter. Thank you.
That was strap up. Very abrupt ending. Very, very, very much. Just wrap it up. All right, let's talk about what we learned. Here we go. All right, this wraps it up. It's another one of our Greg Dean open mics. It was small but mighty, but we still had laughs. All right, let's talk about what we learned. We learned about Twinkie filling, hair cutting with landscaping tools, and driving in Germany while black. We learned about the best stereotype being Sony, blind people never look back, and midgets like to hold dicks. We learned that there's sexual confusion for expiring aspirers. And we also learned about that there should be a good American dicking without the racial component. And Asian midget fisting. Man, we went through a lot. This was a small show, and we got a lot out of it. That was crazy. Let's give a round of applause to B, Tyler, Birkin, and Strap Up. My name's Kevin Comstock. On behalf of Greg Dean, I want to thank you. B, if you want to hang out for a minute when the song ends, I'll give you a little bit of feedback.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Hey, Kev, can I stay for the feedback too?
What?
Can I stay for the feedback too?
If you want some, sure. Or if you want to listen to hers, either one. So let's do it. This isn't a feedback open mic, but I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback, okay? A little taste of the Greg Dean system here. So this is what I got from you, B. And I just wrote down a couple quick things. Your relationship with the audience is wonderful. You do not come across canned. Have you heard the term canned before? It just means, over rehearsed and choreographed with everything. You seem very natural. You do a POV split where you do a German woman. When you do your POVs, if you can spatially separate them, you'll communicate a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. By spatially separating, I mean, if you are the narrator and you're talking to the audience, you look in the camera. But if you're the character talking to you, you just slightly turn your head to the corner of your computer and you do it just from the side. And then if you were to come back with yourself in the scene, you do the same thing. Okay, so you just spatially sorting your POVs would be good. I don't know if you were reading off a script, but I did see you look down a couple times. if you had words in front of you, just throw the paper. Just throw the paper. Because again, the distraction, you're going to look at it and it's going to make you go blank more than if you just memorize the crux. So if you know where the crux is, you're going to have to come to the Greg Dean stand-up comedy classes. We'll teach you what the crux is, and it'll get you a whole bunch of other stuff going. The only other thing I would say is, God damn it, stop it. I'm like one of these old guys. I can't work my phone. It's like embarrassing. It's like you turn 50, you can't do anything anymore. The last thing I would say is, no, that's it. So yeah, straightening your POVs. Don't worry about your script. Throw your script away because it's about your relationship with the audience, and you already have a good relationship. Tyler, you have a good relationship as well. And I know what I was going to say. There are some places where you can fill in jokes. A couple places. The commodity, what we're trying to get is between 5 and 8 laughs a minute. So what you want to do is type up your script and start going through it and figuring out where you think the laughs are. And if there's not a laugh there, turn it into a joke. And if there's already a joke there, can you tag it? All right, Tyler, you have a great relationship with the audience as well. You don't come across canned at all, although I did think you were looking at your computer screen at one time to pick up on some words.
Yeah.
Memorizing words is problematic. So again, we do something called memorizing the crux, and that sets it up so you can do the joke without memorizing the words, because when you encode your words, they get encoded in self-talk. When they're encoded in self-talk, you have to break your relationship with the audience to get to those words. That's it. I got to go, guys. A little bit of feedback. Birkin, you're the master. I'll see you next week. We'll see everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.